Okay, so we're back again. This is episode one of the Python class using Codecademy. So, firstly, Python, like you can read here, Python is a general purpose, versatile programming language. It is great language because Python code is concise, easy to read. Whatever you want to do, Python can do it from web development to machine learning to data science. Python is a language for you. Now, what this simply is just telling you is that Python is one language you can use to do so many things. Whether you want to create a website, you want to create a hardware, you want to create a robot, you want to create something that will be learning things, you want to analyze data, you want to be able to come to good conclusions. Maybe like me, you want to create a prediction software that will be able to predict soccer to tell you if Chelsea is going to win a match or if Man is going to be scoring over 2.5, or would I want to create something like ChatGPT that will be able to really understand human beings, maybe help you to listen to a video, transcribe it, and write a subtitle, or maybe be able to identify animals or be able to identify things. Whatever thing you want to do with a computer, Python is so powerful. And the major reason why Python is powerful is that Python is actually easy to read. So that programming language, if you're not really a software programmer, you cannot read them, but Python is easy to read. So even as a normal person that has no, background in software programming, if you just look at Python code, you'll be able to actually read it like a normal human being. And it is something that you write little code and it will do plenty things. Like other programming language, you have to write so many code in order to be able to achieve a task. But when it comes to Python, just write little things, and those little things you write are like little notes. People can read it, and those things work perfectly. So Python is actually a language that you just write small code, and that small code will do plenty things. And the small code itself is even something people can read. And the Python kernel is actually good because you can use it for both websites, creating app, creating devices. I mean, with Python you can actually create anything you want, and it's beautiful. So today we're going to be learning Python 3. Now Python has so many types. We've gotten the first Python that came out years ago. Then we had a Python 2, and now we have a Python 3. So there is no need going to that Python 1 and Python 2. Let's just study the Python 3. Nothing really much has changed in the way you write the code. What has really changed is the features. Like Python 3 now has lots of new features. So it's just better we study this Python 3. If Python 4 comes in the future and I'm making a video, I'll start with Python 4. It's always good to start from the latest, so that way you will keep learning, because I mean nobody will be using the old versions anymore. Now, if you have enough time in your book, you can go back to learn the old Pythons and know why they improve certain things. But as a new student, let's just focus on Python 3. It's beautiful. So you can see it says learn the basic of Python 3, one of the most powerful, versatile, and in-demand programming languages today. Wonderful. It comes with a certificate and is beginner friendly. So I'm going to click on this. And once I click on it, it should take me to where I can start the course. And I'll go to resume course. So I'm using Codecademy, which is the easiest way to learn any programming language. This was what made me good in coding. Now if you go to Google today and you type for top software programmers in Nigeria, okay, top software programmers in Nigeria, you actually see me here as one of the top programmers in Nigeria. And funny enough, I learned from this Codecademy. Codecademy was one of the things that taught me how to create good apps. So if you keep going through the list, you should be able to see me somewhere around. Um, as one of the top software programmers in Nigeria. I wouldn't want to bother myself now to start opening pages one after the other. But I mean something you can actually go do by yourself. So one of the reasons why I became good in software programming was I learned easily. Most people approach software programming, or most people approach coding, with it's difficult. Oh. So me, I approached mine with trying to learn things the easier way, and so it became something I enjoy, and I can keep doing it over and over again. So the foundation of how you code determines how far you will go. If it's just like maths, some of us went to schools where we had a good maths teacher. The person made maths fun. Everybody wants to solve maths. Everybody wants to use their calculator because they enjoyed it. And there's still some schools most of us went to that had terrible maths teacher. They make maths look like something that is impossible, and if you cannot do it, you're dumb. So they killed our self-esteem. And even if we were trying to study the maths, we're not really good at it. So we get to win some or get some answers right and fail some other answers. But you notice that if you have a good maths teacher, you'll be able to do more of getting it right than getting it wrong. So for me, I figured out that in order for me to be good in coding, I had to look for easy tutorials, and that was what made me good in coding. So I'm going to be using Codecademy that is already easy to understand. I want to add my own explanations on top, and I'm gifted with teaching. So I would make Python so easy for you that in less than a month you should be able to start coding well. Okay, so let's read here. So the way Codecademy works is they will give you a note, they'll write something by the left, you read it, and then they'll give you a task by the right. So the left now is this side, it's going to be telling us what to do, and here now is where we're going to be typing it. So that way they teach you, they write something you do, they tell you something you do. So that way it's more like you're practicing everything you're learning, and it's the easiest way to learn anything. And then this third one, this black one, is where you're going to be seeing what you type. So let's say for instance they taught you how to write a software or a script that'll be able to do plus and minus. You will now type the thing here, and when you click on run over here, you will now see what the result is like. So it makes everything perfect. So let's read what it's saying here at the left. Ironically, okay, this is comment. Ironically, the first thing we're going to do is to show how to tell a computer to ignore a part of a program. Text written in a program, okay, text written in a program but not run by the computer is called a comment. Python interprets anything after a hashtag as a comment. Now, comment can provide context for why something is written the way it is, help people read the code and understand it faster, ignore a line of code and see how a program would run without it. Okay, so I'm going to explain what this thing is. Now imagine you're writing code as a software programmer. Now you would want to be keeping notes to let you know, okay, this thing is doing something and this one is doing something. So let's say for instance, I'm writing a software, and the first thing the software do will be to like get the person's name. So I want to write something that will get the person's name. Now in code, I can say something like Python, and I wanna say get name for me. Now this is easy, you can actually read it and say get name. But what if I want to do something more complex? Or what if I will write this code and then tomorrow somebody will be working on it? Let's assume I want to create a very big software for a company. They've paid me like a software programmer, and now they've paid me to create this software. I want to create it finish and now make it easy. So whoever would get the code, which is the competent staffs, if they now get this code that I created, they'll be the ones to be maintaining it. So let's say they employed me to create a code that will be able to analyze their markets and be able to predict where the market is heading to, where the product is heading to. Now I've finished writing this software and I've given it to the company. Now the company will not obviously need me again, except maybe they want me to write a new software, or maybe they want me to manage it. That will be a different discussion. But now let's assume this company has software programmers there, and these people want to understand what I did, how I created the software, to know if it's safe. Let's assume it's a bank, and they told me to create something that will be able to help people make payments. And now I've created it. They want to be able to know if this thing is safe, what I did. They want a proper explanation. So I could go and buy a textbook or a notebook and start writing, okay, this software does this one on number line 2 says get name for me, line 3 says go and do this one, line 4 say go and do this other one. Then you now hold the book. When you open the book, you now read the book and read the code. It's going to be very tedious. It simply means that thing that I wrote, somebody will need that notebook, or if I type it on Microsoft Word or somewhere, it simply means the person will be looking at that note and be looking at the code. The thing is, it's difficult. So computer program or computer programmers, they now came up with what we call a comment. A comment is like inside your code. Now there's some parts that the computer will not interpret. Those parts will be used to describe what the code does. So for instance, I can create a hashtag now, and I will now say, okay, let me create a hashtag. Hold on, I think to do this. Let me create a hashtag. I think it's good, beautiful. Now I have created a hashtag now, right? This hashtag, I can say this one is to get name, right, from database. I have writing something I get name for database. I will now come here and maybe say something like the database is equals to let's say Nigeria database. Okay, let's say this is for instance. I will now say okay. Now I will now start writing every single thing that will need to get the name from the database. But the moment you read this get name from database, you know what it does. Now it's not just something like this. You can even decide to write even better code, like write more and more. So let's say for instance, I can say get name from Nigeria database. Okay, for Nigeria database, and check if the name of the person, okay, has not been enlisted on the prison database. Now let's assume we want to create a software, and what this software will be doing is to go to Nigeria database, which is Nigeria bank database, okay, and check the name of person, and then check if that person has been arrested before. So if the person has been arrested before, it will not check if the person has been arrested for anything that is related to fraud. If the person has been arrested for anything related to fraud, it will not say no, we cannot give you loan. But if it's not, yeah. So I can actually create like a software that will help a bank know if they can give somebody loan or not. But as I'm creating the software, I'm going to be typing what I'm doing. Like I want to get the name from Nigeria bank database, and I want to do this one, I want to do that one, I want to do. So I'm going to write a comment on what I want to do, and then I will now do it, and I will now be commenting, and I'll now be describing it. So if anybody wants to work on this project, as I'm just reading all these things, immediately they will know what to do. So comment is one of the most powerful things used in programming language. So one of the things we use in comment is to help people read our code, and to also like write what is it called again? You can also use comments to write data, like metadata. So let's say for instance, hi, I am Daniel. I want to do this. This is my code. I want this code to do this. So I can actually comment things about me, right? In fact, comment is used to write things that human being can read or computer will not read it. So the moment you put a hashtag in Python, it simply means I don't want this computer to read anything I'm writing right now. Let the computer just be deaf, a blind eyes, and just assume those things I'm writing is rubbish. You should not even interpret it. So if you notice, when you type normal thing on Python, you see the color, it is orange, but once you use a hashtag, it will just show you gray. That means the computer doesn't even have time for that one. It's been ignored. So we actually use comments to write things human beings can read. We also use it as well, like if we want to comment something. So let's say for instance I write a software now, and this software now is giving me error, and I feel maybe the error might be from here. I can just put a comment here and say, okay, you know what, let me comment this one, so the computer will not interpret it, and see if the code will run perfectly fine. Now if the code run perfectly fine, it now simply means maybe it was this thing that was here that was making the code not to run. So I can now go back and know why it's there. So comment is just basically used to help us write code that human beings can read, so that we're able to know what we're doing in our software. It's also used to like tell the computer ignore this particular thing. So we can write a code, and it seems maybe one particular place in our code is giving us error. We can go and put a hashtag, then the computer will just ignore that section, and other parts will run. So that is what the comment is being used for. Okay, so you're the one making comments. It's not like those things on social media where anybody can come and comment before you start asking me, and these comments now, can my friends on Twitter also comment? No. When you write the code, it's just you and you. So except maybe you get advanced, you start hearing things like GitHub and the rest. But right now the comment is just you trying to write something that the computer will not interpret. Maybe you want to write it for yourself, like me if I'm creating software, I'll be writing comments because I create so many software. So if I come back sometimes, I don't really remember what I wrote last time. So those comments will help me to know, okay, fine. I wrote this code to do this particular thing. Okay, fine. The code works like this. Okay. So those comments will describe what I'm doing. Now, if I still give it to someone else, they read it, they'll say, okay, fine. So oh, this is what you intend to, achieve. Or maybe if there's something that I feel is giving me an error, I'll just put a comment there so to just ignore it. Okay, so documentation is important step in programming. Write a comment describing the first program you want to write. Okay, so let's write our first comment. Um, I want I want to let you all let you all know that commenting your code is good. Right, so this is just the comment I'm making. It's actually telling me I should write a comment of what I should write a okay, saying write a comment describing the first program you want to write. Okay, I want to write, let's just do what they say we should do. I want to write a program that would welcome my students. Okay, so I just want to write a program that will just say, hello, welcome to my Python course. So you can see right now I'm putting up a hashtag. Yeah, it means the computer will not be able to read it. This is a Python, this is a comment. So once you put a hashtag, it's a comment, computer will not be able to interpret it. They'll just act like they're not seeing it, like paid a blind ear. But you as a human being can read it. So I'm going to click on run. This is the run I told you of, and I'll click on it. You're going to see, okay, nothing will show here. Nothing is showing because the computer will just act like it doesn't know it exists. Actually, the computer doesn't really it exists. Once you put a hashtag, the computer just assume, you know what, everything within the hashtag is none of my business. So it has given us a blue tick. A blue tick like this simply means we got what we're told of. If it gives us a red tick, it simply means we made a mistake. So I'm going to click on next, and on next I'm being presented with the next thing to learn. Now on next, you can see it's telling us about print. What is print? So let's read what print is. Now what you're going to do is teach your computer to communicate. The gift of speech is valuable. A computer can answer many questions we have about how or why or what it is doing. In Python, the print function is used to tell a computer to talk. The message to be printed should be surrounded by quotes. Now, I don't know how they wrote these things here, but it is easy for me to understand because I really know of this. So I'll just try to make you understand it. Now, what it's actually trying to say is a computer would like to be able to communicate back with you to let you know, okay, fine, I've processed this thing you told me to process, or I've checked this thing you told me to check, or I've gotten this number from the Nigerian database you told me to get, or but if it has gotten all these things, how does a computer talk back to you? Like computer doesn't have, it's not like you go and plug a speaker and the computer will not be talking as a human being or as a voice. So inside the computer can show you words, like it can reply you back with words. So in order for a computer to reply you back with words, you have to tell it to print. Now the printing is not to print paper, or you're not printing a physical paper. Instead, you're printing the text on your screen. So if I want a computer now to write my name on a screen, I will just say print and I will not tell it what to print. So the way it works, anything you put in a bracket is what it will print. So if you see here, it's not telling you um in Python, the print function is used to tell a computer to talk. The message to be printed should be surrounded by quotes. So this simply means anything I put inside this bracket and I put that thing within quotes, the computer will print it on our screen. Let me try. Let me see if it's true. I'm going to write print now, and I want to put brackets, right? Inside this bracket, I'll put two quotation. So the quotation is like you're quoting. I want this computer to say this, and I want to say I am a fine man. So let me see if the computer is going to tell me I'm handsome. Sure, I'm handsome. I'm going to click on run, You cannot see it's telling me I am a fine man. So it simply means I can tell the computer to write anything I want on my screen and it will write it. So for now, I'm just telling the computer what to write and it's writing it. As time goes on, we'll start making this computer to be able to do things and it will not be telling us, it will not be writing things based on what it has found. Like I can tell the computer now, go and check this amount versus this amount times this amount, this one plus this one minus this one, anything that is the result, I want to print it for me on the screen. So it's coding is basically telling a computer what to do, telling a computer the steps it should follow, and telling a computer that if you follow these steps finish, if you do this and finish, I want you to print the result for me. So a computer is basically like something that processes information. So when you're done with processing it, you will now tell the computer to show you what it has processed. And that is where print comes in. Now anything you put inside that print bracket with quotation is what the computer would show you on your screen. So let's go here. Let's go back to the left. In the above example, like they gave us an example here, they say print, and I say there is something at work in my soul which I do not understand. Okay, then this is the hashtag saying from Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I don't know the meaning of that one. But what it's basically saying is this thing is from maybe a book or something, and it's now telling the computer to quote one particular thing, which is to say a particular thing or print it on the screen. There is something at work in my soul which I do not understand. Me self, I know if you understand. So that says in the above example, we direct our program to print an excerpt from a notable book. The printed words that appear as a result of the print function are referred to as the output. The output of this example would be this, which is what we put in here. So whenever you tell a computer to print anything on the screen, that thing is printing is called an output. So here, for instance, we told the computer to print a particular thing we got from a book, and it did it because it was inside a bracket and within a quotation mark. Okay, I want us to scroll down. You now say print the distinguished greeting hello world. Now this hello world is one of the things we print whenever you're learning a programming language. Like if you just start learning something, maybe any language at all, they will first tell you to write hello world. That hello world means hello this new programming language, like hello I'm welcome to this world or something like that. It's more like when you enter the medicine field, hello medicine and surgery, hello law, hello business administration, hello accounting. So yes, on every single programming language you say hello world. You won't say hello Python, you won't say hello Java, you just say hello world. It's like a greeting with programmers greet. So I'm going to write hello world here and I'll click on run. And just because it is within this brackets and within a quotation mark, you can see it as shine green and it also does next. So now I've been able to finish up the first section of this Python, and it's not telling us to pay. So we've learned how to comment, we've also learned how to print the screen. It's telling us to pay. So initially this website is to be free of charge. You can come here and learn without paying, but at the moment it seems I have to pay. So what I will do is I've tried my cheaper cash, it's not working, which is my virtual card, it's not working. So I'll go to the bank today and I'll get my domiciliary account funded, and while I'm back I will pay for 1 month, and within this 1 month I will try to teach people Python. I will also try to teach you so many programming languages. I'll be explaining them just the way I'm explaining them on my bed like this, so it will be easier for everybody to learn. So for now they've told us we cannot proceed further, and I will try back when I can. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any question, please let me know. I know it sounds like it's extremely getting long. I can explain these things in very short time, but I want it to be like a conversation, so that way you just get extremely good in coding. It's going to be like this. I'll teach you how to create so many softwares like this, and I prefer this style of gisting with you and explaining things casually. Nobody knows it all. I wouldn't come here to start acting like I'm a very good programmer. you will miss out when I do that. So if you really love the way I'm teaching you, please use the like button to let me know you like it, and you can also comment. So thank you. Till next time. This is Alakek.